AITA for vlogging about how my daughter took my car on a joyride and crashed it. I own a car repair shop that is doing quite well, and I have a YouTube channel where I regularly post about fixes and different projects. In a recent video I made where I was giving advice on reliable cars to buy, I mentioned as a hypothetical example something to the sort of you need a car for your teenage daughter. My daughter saw this and got upset at me for saying that and called me sexist and said I should have just said child. However, I just said what came to my mind. She then went on a long rant about something else that happened 4 years ago and called me a jerk for vlogging about it. 4 years ago, I had bought an older sports car, nothing fancy, just a Honda Prelude, and while me and my wife went out to get some food, she took it on a joyride without my permission and crashed it. The car was totaled and she ended up off-road and hit the back on a pole. I was very upset, but luckily she was okay. I vlogged about the incident and showed the damage to the car on my channel and mentioned that my daughter crashed it, and in the video mentioned that she is not a very good driver. My intent was just content for my channel. However, she did not want me to do this and claimed it was humiliating. I never mentioned her by name, and only people who know us and watch the channel could figure it out. She does still get teased about it, but only from family and friends, and it will not really harm her in say job interviews and stuff. Was I the off for doing this? Haha, didn't look at the username, read the story and knew right away it was the car wizard. My intent was just content for my S the problem. She's your real life daughter, not content. I would vote yes H because she shouldn't have taken your car without permission. But she was a minor and you're the parent who is supposed to be setting the example. You shouldn't talk about your kids on your socials unless you have their permission, especially if they're not super young. YTA. She did not want me to do this and claimed it was humiliating. Then she shouldn't have stolen your car and crashed it, unless you cut a deal with her that included a non-disclosure aspect to it. It's fair game. YTA, there are other, more appropriate punishments that would have much better fit the crime. As a parent, it is my job to always paint my kids in the best light. You never know who is watching your social media content and how your mention of things that are humiliating may impact her later in life. You could have mentioned your car was stolen and totaled and omitted that your daughter did it. Also, I'm sure I have done some fuck things as a parent, and I would be mortified if my kids posted it online to a wide audience. I show my children the same grace that I hope others will show me. Be your kid's cheerleader. An appropriate punishment would have been to make her work and pay for it to get repaired, make her pay the difference in the insurance increase, and not pay for her insurance or car payment the future. That would make sense. Humiliating her to get views is gross. Literally already found your channel in the comments, so I guarantee it wouldn't be hard to find your daughter either. Don't include your children in your content without their consent. Edit to add it took all of 3 minutes to find you, your shop, and a picture of you and your entire family in 3 minutes. You need to be way more careful about what you put out there. Wizard, been a fan of your channel for years. Hoovy and you have brought many laughs into my house for the Prelude video. Vividly remember when you posted it and thinking, damn, really like the wizard, but that's some overly harsh parenting with calling out your young daughter in front of the entire world. The internet never forgets, and you put that out there. Your daughter made a mistake, as everyone does, and didn't deserve to have it broadcast to the world. You and Mrs. Wizard chose to put what you want on the internet. You didn't give the same choice to your daughter. You do owe her an apology for it. YTA, stop using your kids for content, for humiliating your daughter on YouTube and then Reddit, in a manner guaranteed to send internet sleuths after her. Yes, you are, YTA. Why did, however, I just said what came to my falls into the category of I'm just being honest excuses people make for being ages. He's right that it is facially sexist. And the response should be to reflect on why you said it and apologize if you were wrong, rather than state the obvious that you said something you were thinking. My intent was just content for my channel. A lie fine, as she did something wrong and deserves some embarrassment for it. There is a difference between doing this in public and making her part of your social media and channel without permission. And the excuse "I did it for the content without thinking about the impact on her" just sucks. Don't include kids in your social media job without their consent. Don't use "it's what I'm thinking" as an excuse. Your family for likes and monetization without their consent is crappy behavior. AITA, it's shitty to use your kids for content, especially without their consent. She is a kid still. Shaming, humiliating, isn't going to gain you any respect from her. Should there be consequences? Of course, but the internet is forever. You set your daughter up to be bullied for years by family and friends and ask if YTA. She probably wouldn't have said anything if you hadn't so publicly humiliated her, calling her a bad driver. Do you still laugh when she gets bullied about it by others? Most bullies can't see that only people like them think they're funny. YTA, you put a private family matter on social media in order to get your content be any different if you change the story from "my daughter" to "a friend's kid." You own a company. Do you put your shop in the videos? The name of it, the location, people can find out. People can dox your daughter. You never know what might go viral. You never know what kind of harassment people may endure because of this. Especially women when it comes to things that are male-dominated: cars, sports, etc. And their mistakes are not content for you or anyone else to profit off of. YTA, it was wrong to post family business online like that. You have a parental obligation to protect your child's privacy no matter how much they screw up. YTA, your channel consists of tutorials for fixes. Yes. Simply show the damage and explain the fix. No need to air someone else's laundry. YTA, for making content about your teenage daughter that she doesn't want to be part of. Yes. There was no reason to mention that incident at all. You could have still made content without mentioning her. ESH, she sucks for joyriding. Op sucks for putting it on social media, where it will be forever, against her wishes. Not to mention sexist commentary about car choice for teenagers based on gender. Your online platform to publicly humiliate your child isn't discipline, it's bullying. The fact that your excuse is that it was content makes it even worse. Also, your excuse that you didn't use her name does not matter. G's can spread unbelievably fast. It clearly already has in her close circle. So what happens when it gets outside of that? I assume you already know that since you make content, so you're being obtuse. YTA, as a general rule, you should leave your kids out of this for their own protection. This goes twice when they clearly state to you how they don't want to be a part of her out of it. NTA, if she doesn't want to be called out for being a shit driver and stealing a car, then she shouldn't steal cars and be a shit driver. YTA, you should have checked in with her before embarrassing her like that for content. People who know us and watch the channel could figure it. YTA, there's nothing else going on in your life. You use your daughter and her mistakes for content. She shouldn't have crashed your car, but you shouldn't post your children for content. I'm leaning more towards YTA. If you only have a daughter, you're naturally going to speak about needing a good car for a daughter. So if you have a son and different criteria for a teen boy's car, it was sexist. Otherwise, it's just the talk of a teenage daughter's father. As the mother of 2 girls, when I talk about kids in general, I refer to daughters. It's the experience I'm coming from. As opposed to the car ... that the people giving her grief about it are the people who would give her grief regardless of your blog. You shamed her, but technically, there was no naming and shaming. I follow you on FB and happened to see that 4-year-old post about the prelude today and thought you didn't need to be so harsh on your daughter. I haven't seen the latest you're asking about, but I'd say you probably could just say child. Mildy the YTA, I'm sick and tired of parents thinking they can use their kids for content. Also, she does still get teased about it, but only from family and friends. After 4 years, when they know she doesn't like it still being brought up and who would want a mistake continually thrown in their face. That's not teasing, that's bullying. Yes, you are the asshole. Only getting teased by family and friends isn't issue enough. Want her to publicly share stuff you're bad at. Mention that my daughter crashed it, and in the video mention that she is not a very good. Was this necessary? Stop using your family for content. In TA, if I took my parents' car for a joyride and totaled it, my punishment would have been way worse than just a vlog on the internet for strangers. Maybe the teenage girl car joke was in bad taste, but you also spoke from the experience of your daughter being a bad driver. YTA, the internet is forever, and you had no right to do that to your daughter. Why do parents who publicly shame their minor children are trash? Thanks for watching.